The rail yard is a busy place. People walking, workers climbing on rail cars, trucks and equipment operators driving, trains coming and going. With all of this activity, you have to be on alert. Not paying attention could end up getting you hurt or worse. The incident you're about to see actually happened and resulted in the death of a longshore worker. A longshore worker was installing twist locks on a container on a rail car. He finished installing the twist lock on the left side, then maneuvered on the platform to install one on the opposite side. While he was working, however, the locomotive was being connected to the train only 10 cars away. The impact of the massive weight and force of the engine caused a chain reaction, and the rail car the worker was on moved. The longshore worker lost his balance. His hard hat came off during the fall, and his head struck the ground, knocking him unconscious. He had fallen into the open area between the rail cars and landed on the track. Seconds later, the locomotive's air hoses were connected to the rail cars. The train moved forward, severing the body of the longshoreman. He was killed instantly. How did this happen? The longshore worker was working on a track where the switch was not locked or flagged. The Occupational Safety and Health Administration, OSHA, requires that rail cars must be prevented from moving whenever people are working in, on, or under them. To stay safe when working around rail cars, you need to follow several important guidelines. At the beginning of your shift and after every break, make sure the rail cars you are about to work on have been locked and that proper signage is in place. Never climb on rail cars or work near them if you haven't been trained and authorized to do so. Inspect the grating before you climb on a train. If it's damaged, bent, or in bad shape for any other reason, do not climb on it. Tell your foreman. Falls are dangerous and can result in serious injury or death. Be careful when climbing on or off rail cars. Always use 3 points of contact, 2 hands and 1 foot, or 2 feet and 1 hand. Also, keep in mind that the bottom step is set back further than the other steps. While working on rail cars, think about your safety. Don't climb on, over, or between coupled rail cars. Don't step on top of rails, frogs, switches, or guardrails. Step over them instead. Keep your balance when working. Don't overreach when installing or removing twist locks. Watch for trip hazards. Wear proper footwear with a non-skid sole to prevent slips. And use extra caution in bad weather. Never use the side of a loaded rail car to shuffle to the center or the ends of a container to remove pins. Be careful with rail cars with second-tier overhangs. Overhangs can reduce work platform space, and low clearance can create head injuries. Always climb down the end of a rail car on the ladder using the 3-point contact method, and use the cone or rack truck to travel, to remove or install twist locks. If you're working on a train that is being loaded or unloaded, always keep eye contact with equipment operators. Never turn your back on equipment. When working in rail operations, one of the best strategies for staying safe is to be alert to your surroundings at all times. You can't always hear trains, so you need to keep your eyes open to what's going on around you. If you're a foreman or supervisor, you have a few more responsibilities when it comes to railcar operations. Tracks should be locked and flagged whenever anyone will be working on railcars on that track. Any railcar movement should be announced. Before a train moves, make sure there are no workers on or near the working track. Trains are a powerful way to move cargo, but that power can also be dangerous. When doing railcar operations, stay alert to your surroundings. Follow all safe work practices when working on or around railcars. Always assume railcars will move at any time and from any direction. And finally, make sure the track you are working on has been locked and flagged. Don't let a tragedy like this one happen to you.